good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice of radio. So today, we're going to be having a little look at some wonderful, wonderful news. And that is that McDonald's is doing another promotion. Another Pokemon promotion, because if it was not a Pokemon promotion, who would care? Shout out to the lovely Primal Lugia, who has provided the image you can see on the screen at the moment. And just like before, there are a selection of toys and trading cards available. There are 8 particular toys available and 12 particular trading cards. Although one of the big downsides is these trading cards are always mashed. But hey-ho, we did finally get a McDonald's Pokemon promotion in the UK last year, but, you know, we don't get most of these. Now, the toys, as you can see here, there's a Latios, a Latias, a Dialga, a Palkia, a Tornadus, a Thunderous, a Zekrom, and a Reshiram. And if anyone can hook me up with a Latias for the Baby Daisy, please do hit me up on Twitter at @TheWassy and let me know. So, the toys are kind of cool. I'd love to collect them. Hopefully they'll come out in the UK. But like I say, I do need a Latias for the Baby Daisy. It is her spirit Pokemon, after all. But this is primarily a Pokemon TCG channel, though we do dabble here and there in other Pokemon-related fun times. And essentially here, we've got 12 pre-evolutions, 12 basic evolving Pokemon, which is generally what they tend to do in McDonald's when we have the promotions. Now, we're not going to sit here and go through all of them in exhaustive detail, but we do have a Machop here, and long story short, it's fine, but there is a 70 HP Machop instead. We have a Horsey here, which is the highest HP Horsey available. There is a Cubone here. There is a 60 HP Cubone as well, so this is the highest. There is a Growlithe. It's the only Growlithe we have right now. A Chansey. It's the only Chansey we have right now. There is a Pikachu, but I'm going to be honest with you, there is a 70 HP Pikachu, so some people will prefer that. There's a Porygon. Now, Porygon's not my favourite Pokemon, that's Mamoswine, but Porygon is my second favourite and my original favourite, so again, if anyone can hook me up with a Porygon, Twitter at @TheWassy. There is a Dratini. There is a Magnemite. Now, to be fair, there is an identical Lightning Magnemite, if you prefer, but not from McDonald's. There is a Slowpoke, which is the only option that we have at the moment. And there is a Psyduck, which is just as good as any other Psyduck we have at the moment. There are 2 of them in total, but they're much of a muchness. So they are the ones that are available. But the real interesting question here, hang on a second, isn't that the Energy Evolution Eevee? That, ladies and gentlemen, is what is super exciting about this promotion this time round. You see, just a couple of days ago, we looked at Eevee GX. I did a video about it, obviously. I'll pop a link in the description. But we looked at Eevee GX and we said, it's alright, but we don't like it as much as the Energy Evolution Eevee. Now, the ability says that once during your turn, as long as it's not the turn it went down or your first turn of the game, i.e. as long as you'd be allowed to evolve normally, you can just pop a Pokemon onto Eevee GX that evolves from Eevee. Okay? And then you completely heal Eevee GX just before you do so. So essentially this gives us another option for evolving into the myriad of what is commonly referred to as evolutions. Umbreon clearly being the best of them from a design standpoint, although we also looked at Flareon GX yesterday, link to that video in the description, and oh my goodness, Flareon is nuts good. I adore Flareon, it's going to be great. Oh, I'm excited about Flareon, ladies and gentlemen. And the good news is you can play 4 Eevee GX and 4 Eevee, so now that gives you 8 options, 9 if you include Ditto Prism Star, which can evolve into any stage 1. So that's good, but I basically said, look, I don't love this Eevee, I much prefer the Energy Evolution Eevee. However, one of the points I made in that video was Energy Evolution Eevee should be rotating in September 2019. Now, we have no confirmation at this stage. Having said that, there's a rotation every September. And on average, they rotate out 4 proper sets, although again, there's no guarantee that they will. That's just an average. But this Eevee came from Sun and Moon, the Sun and Moon base set. So if there is any rotation whatsoever, this Eevee will be rotated. And this Eevee is nuts. You attach your basic energy, and then you get to search your deck for a Pokemon that evolves from Eevee of the same type as the energy you just attached, and evolve up. So something like an Umbreon, for instance, you attach a darkness energy to Eevee. You evolve straight away, and then you've got Umbreon, and it's got a darkness energy attached so you can strafe to do 30 damage and switch to the bench. Something like Glaceon that's got the Nuts ability, which blocks abilities of EX and GX Pokemon. You go second, Eevee, attach your water energy, evolve to Glaceon, your opponent doesn't have any abilities. Oh, but actually you're evolving with an ability, not an attack, so you go first. You get an Eevee in the active with a water energy, and your opponent might be locked out of GX abilities for the entire game. It's not been the powerhouse deck we were maybe expecting it would be, but it's still been pretty good. This Energy Evolution Eevee is redonk. But it's rotating in September. Now, what we've had up till now is we have had alternate art cards. These came around a little while ago. So if we see something like Professor Sycamore, we get Professor Sycamore, and then ages later we get this new Professor Sycamore. But it's donated with an A symbol in the bottom right-hand corner, showing that it is an alternate art, meaning that it does not affect the legality. When regular Professor Sycamore rotates out, then alternate art Professor Sycamore rotates out as well. But as you can see from this image, which was lovingly sent to me by the lovely Matt Wish over on Twitter, @DynastyWish, we can see a very large clear image of this Eevee, and you'll notice that it is not an alternate art reprint. It is number 11 out of 12 of the McDonald's promos. As a side note, this is also a great time to point out, these promos are exact reprints of the cards in question. They just have this weird, what has become known as the McDonald's holofoil. There's been a few McDonald's sets, and a good friend of mine did get me the complete first set back with black and white, which I still cherish, although the fact they're not released in the UK makes them really hard to collect. But anyway, this is the way the McDonald's cards are. They're exact reprints, but with a fancy holofoil pattern. Here's the thing, though. They have a unique set number and a unique set symbol. They are not alternate art reprints. That means this Eevee will not rotate at the same time as Sun and Moon. So that leaves 2 questions which are clearly interrelated. Question number 1, when will it rotate? And question number 2, does that mean we will keep the Energy Evolution Eevee in the format for longer? And essentially the answer here is probably yes. So the most recent rotation happened in September 2018, just a couple of months ago. And on the screen you can see here now the official list of expansions legal for tournament play. And you will notice that the McDonald's Collection 2017, which was released in tail end of 2017, although in the UK it was very early 2018, actually we did get the last McDonald's Collection. Maybe we will get this one. Fingers crossed. I'm going to get so many Porygon and Eevee. But my point is that the collection in 2017 did not rotate in the rotation that happened afterwards. So why would we think that the McDonald's Collection 2018 would rotate in the 2019 rotation? If the 2017 McDonald's Collection didn't rotate in the 2018 rotation, then why would the McDonald's 2018 collection rotate in the 2019 rotation? And the answer is it wouldn't. Not unless the Pokemon Company deliberately included it in the rotation to get rid of Energy Evolution Eevee. And this to me is a fascinating thing. What happened here? Did they deliberately include it in the McDonald's collection so we could have it in the format for a little bit longer? Or is it just a coincidence? And if it's a coincidence, are they going to do anything about it? Because one of two things is going to happen. Either this will get rotated in less than a year, which doesn't happen even for McDonald's collections, or we are going to have a legitimately playable card kept in the format because it was a McDonald's promo card. Although, do please remember, ladies and gentlemen, as it is an exact reprint of the one from Sun and Moon, you will be able to use the one from Sun and Moon in tournaments. You will not be able to use the one from Furious Fist, even though it is essentially a reprint in that it's got the same ability. It is not the same card. It doesn't have the same HP. It doesn't have the same attack. It doesn't even actually have the same retreat cost. So you cannot use a Furious Fist. But this is an exact reprint, so you would be able to use the one from Sun and Moon. This is ridiculous and brilliant. But now these McDonald's promos are hyper important. They are supposed to be, hey, here's 12 evolving Pokemon that kids think are cute, so you'll buy more food at McDonald's. And it's actually turned into, this is having an appreciable effect on the metagame. Sylveon GX is a really good deck, but mostly because of the Sun and Moon Eevee. Glaceon is only really viable because of the Sun and Moon Eevee, and Flareon is going to be a boatload better because of the Sun and Moon Eevee, which will be the McDonald's Eevee. This is awesome! Also, right, one last thing before we finish. These McDonald's cards are always in horrific quality when we get them. The condition is always terrible. Imagine if it was only the McDonald's versions that were legal. They won't be. Sun and Moon World are exactly the same. But imagine if the McDonald's promos were the only ones that were legal and you actually had to search around for ones that weren't bent to goodness. That would be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about the McDonald's promotion and you should be too, but this has a great impact on the metagame because of Eevee, and that's just weird. Alrighty then, I want to know what you think about this, ladies and gentlemen. I want to know how weird you think this is. I am flabbergasted that this happened. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but please do remember the rule. Be nice. Also, make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wossy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. And do make sure you are checking out patreon.com/PTCGRadio. That's where you get bonus podcasts and support the channel. And youtube.com/WossyPlays. That's where I'm doing a deep dive on the Transformers TCG at the moment, and it's awesome. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.